Hey everybody, it's Melissa Ramos. I'm really excited because I'm sure a lot of you guys have been waiting to find out what the heck happened with our holiday promo sale. How much money did we raise? What's going on? I know a bunch of you guys have been asking me, and today I'm going to tell you all about it. With me, I have a really special interview with Nidhi, who is actually a representative from Plan Canada. So thank you so much, Nidhi, for doing this.
Thank you for having me here.
Awesome. So I wanted to be able to chat with you a little bit about Plan Canada because when I was advertising this holiday sale, which we do every single year, and we donate 10% of the proceeds back to charity, we were doing it for Girls Not Brides. So it might confuse some people watching right now, going, "I thought it was Girls Not Brides." So can you help us understand the affiliation with Plan Canada and Girls Not Brides?
Sure. So, Plan Canada is an international development organization. We are one of the largest and oldest international agencies working on children's rights. Girls Not Brides is a partnership based network where you have different members who have come together to work on addressing child marriage. So, Plan Canada is one of the members of Girls Not Brides, and we also hold the secretariat in different countries for Girls Not Brides.
That's awesome. And so, if you can help us understand a little bit about childhood marriage, because this is what we were focusing on at the end of 2015 to be able to raise money to help to prevent this, how how bad is this issue going on right now globally? Because this is not just in one country. This is in quite a few countries worldwide. So if you can explain to us a little bit about childhood marriage globally, that would be great.
Yeah. So, child marriage, as you have rightly said, is a global issue. It's across the world in South Asia, in East Asia, Africa, West Africa, Latin America. And right now, almost 15 million girls will get married annually before they turn 18.
Oh my
That
God.
is almost 40 million in the decade. They will be married off before they turn 18. So one in or another way to put it is 1 in 3 girls in developing countries will be married before they turn 18.
Oh
It
my
is a
goodness.
huge issue.
And this
Uh,
is awful because if we think about if they get married so young, and then they get pregnant, the body, I don't even think the body has fully developed to possibly even support the birth of a child. Like I've heard stories and accounts of some women dying in childbirth because their bodies hadn't fully developed, which is frightening.
Absolutely. And I mean, first and foremost, child marriage is a violation of a girl's right. It curtails her life. As soon as a girl is married off, her life comes to it's a big change in the trajectory of her life. Her stopped, she is not able to play, she has to take on all the responsibilities in the household, and of course, pregnancy, very early pregnancy, and all the complications related to early pregnancy coming with that. Now, to relate it to the issue of early pregnancy, you will understand that among the 15 to 19-year olds, early pregnancy and pregnancy related complications is one of the leading causes of their death among 15 to 19. And of
Wow.
course, it relates back to early marriage
Yeah.
and all the responsibilities and health complications that come with it.
Oh my goodness. So help us understand with Plan Canada, where do you guys have programs in the world for helping to prevent childhood marriage? Where do your programs reach around the world?
So Plan Canada works in 52 countries across the world. And in out of these 52 countries, in about 30 countries, we have specific child marriage programming. We have very large programs in South Asia, in Southern Africa, also in West Africa.
Hmm.
But these are the projects that are specifically addressing the issue of child marriage, child rights. Then we have other projects on health, on education, in emergencies, also bring in the issue and link the issue of child marriage. So those projects and programs are across 52 countries in the world.
Oh my goodness. Because education is such a huge part of this, is to educate people and let them know that there are other options. Because why are girls going into childhood marriage so early? Why are they forced into going? Is it something that their parents push them into doing? Is it a financial thing? Why are these girls going in so early?
The drivers of child complex and interrelated. It's not a simple one issue, one problem thing. So the key drivers are, of course, as you said, poverty is one of the big drivers, but then the social norms around gender equality or gender inequality, I must say, are a big driver for child marriage. And then these issues are compounded with choice for education, employment opportunities for these girls, lack of aspirations for girls. And then these are also compounded in case of crisis situations where there is added fear of violence against these girls, and then therefore some parents even think that they are doing favor by marrying the girl off. They are protecting the girl child. They are
Wow.
protecting her from the violence that she might face in a conflict situation. And the paradox is that actually that girl ends up maybe facing more violence in her house.
Yeah, because there's a lot of domestic abuse that's associated with it, correct?
It is. It is. Studies have clearly shown that girls who are married off early, they face much more domestic violence, domestic abuse as compared to elder women, women who marry later, as well as they have much more sexual and reproductive health issues because of very early initiation into sex when their bodies are not ready for it, forced sex, violent sex. So these are all the issues that a girl faces when she's married.
Hmm. And so I know that you mentioned that education is one of the cornerstones of the initiatives. What other things do you guys do also to help to prevent the childhood marriage? So there's the education component, obviously, is a huge one.
Our studies and studies across the globe have shown that the more longer you can keep girls in school, the chances of them getting married are reduced quite considerably. And they go away totally, but they reduce considerably. And therefore, one of our big focus in all our education programming is to make sure that we get more and more girls into the schools, but also we create an environment where girls are able to stay in schools. So, for example, relating it to other issues that we work on, in schools, one of the issues that we find is girls do not stay in schools is the lack of latrines in school for them. So
Mm.
during menstruation, they have to stay back from school, or they do not just go to school because there are no places for them to go.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we do is to make sure that every school that we work separate latrine block for girls, so that at least that piece is taken care of. And then we also look at the violence and the threat of violence for girls when they are going to school, because that is one of the big reasons why parents don't want to send their girls to school, the violence that they might face on the way to school. So one of our big work is around protection for girls in and around schools. So, what I'm trying to say is when we are looking at child marriage programming, we have to look at a very holistic picture. It has to be based in child protection systems, which are based child protection systems. So, not only looking at ending child marriage in isolation, but looking at all the factors that push families to make a decision to marry their girl early. So some of them relate to education, protection, and then some of them also relate to all the social and cultural traditional beliefs. So with not only the girl herself, but the family that she comes from, and also other gatekeepers. Now, these gatekeepers could be the leaders in the
Yeah.
community, these could be the traditional leaders, the government employees who can take a stand there. So, you have to have a very comprehensive and holistic programming to prevent child marriage. It's not just enough to say, okay, you go and stop a child marriage, but you have to create an environment where there is less acceptability of and more acceptability of girls going to school, girls taking on economic
And
options.
I think it's amazing because even you mentioned menstruation and just having like a separate, you know, bathroom for these girls is a really big, deal. It's last year when we did the holiday sale, we donated to Femme International, who supplies menstrual cups for women so that they could stay in school because they have protection because women were using mud, they were using uh, parts of their mattress inside their mattress, and they were getting infections. And if you're bleeding, there's this almost this point of shame that they don't want to go to school, and then also educating the young boys as well in the school because it's not just the girls or their families; it's also the boys as well that need to be educated.
Yeah, and it's so true for child marriage as well. So the marriage always has the other part, which is a boy
Yeah.
or a man. So we have to work with men in engaging men and boys also to become champions. And in a lot of in Bangladesh, we have been able to engage young men to become champions. So these young men are now working together with their peers, the young girls,
Hmm.
to create what they call wedding buster groups.
Ha.
Yeah, it's amazing. And these young people, when they hear about, first of all, they go to communities and create the awareness. But when they one of their friends being married off, or a friend comes and tells me my parents are thinking of marrying me off, they get together and they strategize. They generally they have an adult mentor who also helps them, but then they make strategies and they go and talk to their to the parents of this young girl to stop the marriage. They try to do
Wow.
whatever in their control, and this is having amazing results because it is bringing together young girls, it is building on their own agency, it's bringing men and boys together with them, and it's also bringing the leaders into the in as champions, not just as somebody who doesn't do their work, but as champions who can support this.
Which I think is so amazing because then you're also raising a culture of men who have a completely different outlook and have completely different values about this, and they're educated about this, and as you said, they're champions. So I think that's fantastic, and I think it's the work that you guys are doing is amazing. So every single year, we do this holiday promo, and I essentially package up a bunch of my programs at a reduced rate. And as I said, 10% of the profits, or 10% of the revenue that came in, we donate to a charity, and obviously this time it's going to be Planned Canada. So the revenue that came in was 13,000. So we're going to be giving 10% of that, which is 1,300, from Sexy Food Therapy Inc. So I really wanted to take this opportunity for everyone who's watching right now and who did take part in the holiday promo sale, just to thank you, because when you purchased that $97 product, 10% of that, so pretty much almost $10 went towards helping somebody in need. So your dollar actually helps. It helps to educate someone. It helps to raise, men, a completely new set of men out there in the world. These champions, educating women, providing them with proper sanitation, even so that they have separate sanitation. It's just absolutely incredible. So thank you to everyone who purchased, and thank you to you, Nidhi, to do this interview with me and to educate us in terms of what the issue has been. So it's absolutely my pleasure to be able to donate the $1,300 to Plan Canada.
No, and on behalf of Plan, I must thank you and
Mm-hmm.
all the people who have purchased your book and supported our work. I'm thanking them all as well. And anybody who wants to know more about our work or wants to support any of can go to our website, plancanada.ca, and you'll find much more information up there. And please support this cause.
Definitely. So what I'll do, everybody, is underneath this video, I will give you guys the Plan Canada website so that you guys will have access. If I know there were some people who were like, oh, I would have bought the holiday promo sale, but I already have some of the products in there. So how do I donate and give back? Well, now is still your opportunity to do so. So you can absolutely still do, as little as $10, $5, whatever, even 25, anything helps. Every single dollar counts with this. So please remember that, even though the holiday promo is past, you still have an incredible opportunity to donate back to this awesome cause.
And thank you, Melissa, for making it happen and bringing people together to listen to this issue as well.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.